Welcome to part 2 of Understanding Academic Integrity. This PowerPoint is also adapted from the T. Denny School of Social and Family Dynamics on academic integrity and academic dishonesty. In part 2, we will discuss academic deceit, implications for the workplace, and provide you additional resources. ASU's academic integrity policy states that academic dishonesty includes academic deceit, such as fabricating data or information, or falsifying academic records. Please use the link below to access more information on this topic. Consider the following example. Paul misses an assignment deadline and contacts his instructor after the deadline, claiming that an emergency prevented him from turning in his assignment on time. The instructor asks for verifiable documentation to support Paul's claims that he experienced an emergency. However, Paul is unable to provide verifiable documentation. Without documentation, Paul is at risk for being charged with academic deceit and is at risk for sanctions. Instructors can ask for documentation for any emergency that a student claims interferes with completing assignments, quizzes, or exams. When a student claims that an emergency prevented him or her from completing an assignment, it's the student's responsibility to provide documentation. This includes emergency visits to hospitals, this could include car accidents, this could include funerals or flights out of town to visit family members because of other emergencies. Students need to provide documentation. Let's consider this next example. After a deadline for an assignment has passed, Thomas contacts the instructor and claims that he completed the assignment on time. Thomas sends the instructor a screenshot to verify his claim. The instructor compares the screenshot with course records and determines that it has been altered. Thomas is at risk for being charged with academic deceit and is at risk for academic sanctions. Here are some additional examples of academic deceit. You can see here that there are lots of different types of ways that students can commit acts of academic deceit, including manipulating electronic files, supplying false documents, falsely claiming technical difficulties, creating stories or excuses for not making deadlines. This should not prevent students from making legitimate claims with verifiable documentation. Emergencies come up, technical issues do happen. But when you're in violation of academic deceit because you made up these claims, that can result in academic sanctions. When in doubt, ask your instructor what types of documentation is appropriate and ensure that you can provide that documentation to back up your claim, your emergency. It's also very important to ask before rather than after an event whenever possible. Academic dishonesty and academic integrity plays an integral part in your workplace success. For example, internships are often ways for employers to preview their future employees and determine whether they're responsible, honest, and hardworking. Academic dishonesty can be reported to internship site supervisors, and if you misrepresent hours, skills, or duties on an internship, that can damage relationships with site supervisors and lead to other academic sanctions. You may not have your internship hours counted. You may not be able to use that internship site supervisor as a reference. And workplace employers outline expectations and deadlines for their employees regularly. Bad, as well as good habits formed in college can impact workplace performance. Consider the failure to meet deadlines, produce original work, record hours and job duties appropriately, or feign emergencies can lead to job loss, financial loss, and legal action in the workplace. In many ways, you coming up with ways not to commit acts of academic dishonesty and academic deceit prepares you to be successful in the workplace. Here are some additional resources regarding academic integrity policies at ASU. You can follow the links below to access these resources. You may also access the Virtual Academic Integrity Lab to read more information about the topics that were discussed in these two presentations.